Good morning, class, and welcome to Culture Unit 5. So, the topic of this culture unit is heroes and heroines. Who do you think are heroes or heroines in Croatia? Today we have many because we're fighting this terrible virus, and we have very brave people helping us. And tell me something about that. What do you think? Are they heroes? Is there anyone else in the history of Croatia that you consider to be a hero? You answered the question and send it as a voice message to me. Every country has its own heroes and heroines. I like to think that the world has heroes and heroines, not just countries, but the world. So we should all help each other and be each other's heroes and heroines. So let's start. We will read and listen to the text. We will match the names to the descriptions.
Page 64. Exercise 1.
Heroes and heroines. All countries have their own national heroes and heroines. You see statues of these people in towns and cities. Streets, squares, parks, and buildings are often named after them too. Here are some examples from the UK. The most famous monument in London is Nelson's Column in Trafalgar Square. The statue on top of the column is of Admiral Horatio Nelson. He defeated the French Navy at the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805. Nelson himself died in the battle. Near the Houses of Parliament is the statue of Britain's first national heroine, Boadicea, or Boudica. She was the queen of a British tribe, and she led a rebellion against the Romans. Sometimes places are named after heroes or heroines. Liverpool Airport is called John Lennon Airport. He came from Liverpool and started the most famous pop group in the world, the Beatles. He was shot in New York in 1980. Brunel University in Bristol is named after the engineer Isambard Kingdom Brunel. He built a railway from London to Bristol, as well as tunnels, bridges, and ships. In Margate, Kent, you can visit the Turner Gallery. It's named after the painter J.M.W. Turner. He painted many of his pictures in Margate. A lot of buildings in London and other cities have blue plaques on them. These show that a famous person lived or worked there. You can see plaques for scientists, artists, poets, politicians, actors, and lots of other people. This plaque shows us that the writer Charles Dickens was born in this house in Portsmouth. Many places are named after famous local people too. The town hall in the city of Lancaster, for example, is called Ashton Hall, after Lord Ashton. He was a very rich businessman, and he owned some large factories in the city. This statue is in the middle of the square in front of Lancaster Town Hall. It's a statue of Queen Victoria. There are more statues of Queen Victoria in the UK than of anybody else. She was queen for nearly 64 years, 1837 to 1901, when Britain was the richest country in the world. Many places are named after her too. London and Manchester both have a Victoria Station, and many towns and cities have a street, road, square, or park named after her?
Okay, so I'm 100% sure that there are many unfamiliar words in this text. So what you have to do is to be responsible, to take out all the unfamiliar words. Try to repeat them. You can rewatch the video, you can re-listen to the text and repeat the words that are new, that are maybe difficult for you to pronounce them. So practice, okay? Take a photograph of your notebooks, of your work, and send them as a reply to me, of course, in a private message. All right, so we've learned about some famous British people who they call heroes and heroines. So let's match the names to the descriptions. So, number 1, Horatio Nelson was an admiral. Queen Boadicea, she was a queen. John Lennon was a pop star. I.K. Burnell was an engineer. J.M.W. Turner was a painter. Charles Dickens was a writer. And Lord Ashton was a factory owner. Okay, so which person is connected to these places and why? This is the task that you have to do orally. So you record your findings and you send them to me as a voice message. Pause the video here, pauziraj video, napravi zadatak i izreci mi što, kako i zašto. Dakle, spojimo ove ljude sa ovim mjestima i zašto su oni povezani s tim mjestima i pošaljite mi kao snimku glasa. Ok? Budite odgovorni, nemojte unaprijed tražiti rješenje. Ok, so hopefully you've done the task, you've sent it, so let's look at the results. Lancaster is connected to Lord Ashton. He owns some large factories in Lancaster. Margate, J.M.W. Turner, painted many of his pictures in Margate. I.K. Burnell built a railway from London to Bristol, so obviously Bristol is his place that he is connected to. Horatio Nelson, the famous Nelson's column, commemorating his victory against the French Navy, stands in a very, very famous square in London called the Trafalgar Square. So Liverpool, John Lennon, he came from the city by the name of Liverpool and started the Beatles there. Liverpool Airport is named after him. Portsmouth, Charles Dickens was born in Portsmouth. So, now tell me what two queens are mentioned in the text. This task 3b we will do, you will write it in your notebooks and you will post and you will send it, actually, you will send it to me in a chat. Okay, so let's match these cues to the correct queen. So, 64 years. Victoria ruled for nearly 64 years. Romans. Boudica led a rebellion against the Romans. Earliest. Boudica, the first national heroine. Richest. Victoria. During her time, Britain was the richest country in the world. Tribe. Boudica was the leader of a British tribe. And place names. Victoria, many places around Britain are named after her. Now, use this information to write sentences. Ovo nam je dobra prilika da malo vježbamo samostalno tvorenje rečenica uz pomoć natuknica. Dakle, to je jedini zadatak ovdje. Okay, so that's it for this culture section. U opisu videa imate jednu poveznicu. Molim vas, poveznicu si kopirajte i otvorite si u nekom novom prozorčiću. Jedna ovako lagana, zanimljiva Who wants to be a millionaire? Stvarčica kako biste upoznali malo više heroes and heroines of Britain. So, nemojte zaboraviti na poveznicu u opisu videa. And until next time, goodbye children.